Yo, what's going on, Blackish University? It's your boy B, coming at you with another reaction. Got my beautiful wife Johanna with me. Look at you. I wanted to check out on the channel. We've been checking out more Tobe Nwigwe. It's been sick. I don't think I've been disappointed at all with what he's brought to the table. But I wanted to check out, I've been exploring music by Fat, as well as Nell, his producer, and his wife Fat. That's our little one, little Bree Bree. But I wanted to check out the story. It says Forever Twisted, Our Story Part 1, because I think it's a beautiful relationship that they have. And I think it's anytime we could see a positive message in a minority community, especially when it comes to being a father or being in a relationship, it's sick. And I love what he says, right? He says, if I can't bring my wife or my kids to my shows, then I'm leaving, which is just sick. Let's, without further ado, we're going to hear a little bit more about their love story and see what's going on.
Hey guys, I don't really know how to start this. Tell me, stop doing that. Just tell me how to start.
Fat, you start by saying something about this is forever twisted.
This is forever twisted. Thank y'all for tuning in.
I just want to be.
Is it me or does she look like Jada Pinkett Smith?
She does.
Right?
She has this natural beauty about her.
There is.
With you. I like the way you do the things you do.
Alright y'all, so we about to tell y'all about how we first met. Our whole story. It's unlike most boys, girls stories. So, here we go. Was that good?
His shirt say, ooh.
So, when we first met,
I was live. I was, you know what I'm saying? I was walking in my purpose. I was doing my thing. I was like with God. I was low key like Enoch. Low key, just about to be transcended straight up into the heavens with my Lord and Savior. I had just started a nonprofit organization. I had just started Team Guinea. We had just started like the movement to make purpose popular. So I was like on flames. And then Fat had just ran away from Grand Rapids.
So I just came back. Well, not came back. I just got to Houston from Michigan. I had been here not even a year when I met Tobe. And I left Michigan just because I just felt like God wanted me to leave. Like it was just nothing happening there. I was gonna be stuck in the box, like I'm from the hood. Like
hey, you trying to make it sound way more spiritual than it was. You talking about God had what?
That's exactly why I didn't say it, because I wasn't getting into it.
I was saying you ain't got to say it, but you don't got to make it seem like it was just some type of spiritual encounter that made you come to Houston. What happened was something bad. He was like, oh, I got to get out of here.
Before that, I had always
she
felt
got
like I
fresh
was supposed to
prints.
leave, like I wasn't supposed to stay in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was getting on. You just went and really left.
My bad.
Anyway, so I was saying that it wasn't where I was supposed to be, and I knew that, and I felt that. So when I had the chance to go, I up and left to Houston. So I had been in Houston not even a year when I met Tobe initially. And we met at Higher D Church. He was doing a young adults event or something.
I was out here serving the people like I usually do, and she seen me shine.
First of all, I met him there, and I didn't really see him at that. He thinks, y'all, he really thinks, like, at that moment, I saw him, and I was like, from that moment on. But I didn't really see him at the event. I saw him at the nonprofit.
Let me just be honest with y'all. Fat said that her homegirl was like, ooh, there's some daddies in the church.
That was after the church service.
There's some daddies in this church.
She definitely did say that.
Some daddies. You know what I'm saying? I was just up there serving. There's some daddies in this church.
First of all, she definitely did say that. But she said that after like the actual church service, not after that event. So that was a different time. But anyway, he ended up inviting us to his nonprofit meeting. Like, I don't know if it was the next day or like a couple days after or whatever. So we ended up going. And
I just wanted to say, it reminds me of the quote. People say, you could lose a lot of money chasing women, but you'll never lose women chasing money. and you see this is a young man. Just to the guys, to the younger guys, this is a guy out here making moves. Already tried to start a nonprofit. He's going to church. You know, I don't know a lot about his past. I'm sure, just like all of us from the inner city, he has a past. But he was out here trying to make positive moves, and it just put him somewhere where a positive person was. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't out hitting the clubs, dropping money to meet some chick. He met a chick by looking for his purpose. I just think that's like the, you know.
And he was up. He was like, you know, leading the meeting, like, you know, getting all the volunteers together and stuff like that. And that's when I saw him. So then when I saw him, I was like, man, I can marry this man. Like, this is, like, I felt like, you know, like he was for me. In that moment, I felt like he was for me. He was like...
I was like, stop.
Not at all.
I was like, you ever see somebody when they look at you, they be literally like looking all the way into your mouth? Like they look like trying to see like what your tonsils are saying. Like, man, there's a vibration coming from the back of his neck. I'm trying to see what that is.
All right.
No, let me show you what it looks like. Let me show you. Fat would like bend the corner and like come back around the corner like this. And I'll be like, hey, stop looking at me like that.
Tobe.
Alright, we'll continue. So bottom line is she was like on like, oh
You
my
know how,
God.
you know how like boy
oh
meets girl, like boy find like thinks like falls in love, like thinks girl is the one, like he knows instantly, all that stuff. Well, those roles were reversed.
Absolutely.
It was reversed. I was the one that was like, yo, like, you ready?
And hold on. And before y'all think like, dang, what's wrong with him? Nothing. She ain't look nothing like this. Her favorite store was Charlotte Russe.
Ain't nothing wrong with Charlotte Russe, lady.
Ain't nothing
You
wrong
just
with
gotta do
Charlotte
it
Russe.
right.
And that's what you into. If that's what you into, Charlotte Russe is cool for you. Don't feel bad. Everybody got different seasons.
You gotta know how to do it. You gotta do it right.
So Fat was into like bodycon dresses and vests on top of the dresses.
I was here. Let me tell you, when I left Michigan, I was like, I'm in
She had
Houston. I'm about to turn up.
She had a bowl cut.
It was.
I'm talking
He keeps
about.
saying that. I have a bowl cut literally right now. What I had was a pixie cut. And ladies, y'all know what the pixie cut is. It's like when it's cut, it like on your head. It's cute. And then you have like the bangs in front. I had that. I had my little fake Holly Berry going on. He hated that haircut. He said it made my head look big. So yeah, I was, you know, and I was managing Charlotte. Well, I was working for Charlotte Russe at that time. I think I was just about to get my management position. But so I had to hook up. So I'm all in there.
Nobody won.
He wasn't thinking about it. He wasn't interested at all. He wasn't interested at all.
Keep going, Fat. All right, what happened next?
So
He said, get to it.
You had two choices. You could either
flee
from me.
So when he was like, you know, I'm not into you or whatever, he told me.
No. I said you. I don't like you. Stop looking at me like that. I don't like you like that. You are. You know when somebody look at you in church, you can't say like, "Hey, stop." Like, you gotta say something like, "Hey, sis, what up, sis? Come on, sister."
He made it clear.
He trying to friend zone.
What up, family? What's going on, family? That's what I hit her with.
He made it clear that he did not look at me like in a romantic way.
Sister, come on, sister in Christ. Come on, all the colloquialisms. I gave it all to her. All right, keep going, Fat.
So I had a choice, right? He was very vocal, so I had to make a decision. I could either take his honesty and keep on moving with my life and just like not be affiliated with him at all. Or I could take his advice, understand that that's not what he wants, a relationship is not what he wants, and I could become his friend.
It's not a relationship enough. I thoroughly wanted a relationship. I just did not want you. A relationship is not what we want. I just didn't want you.
With me. Okay.
There we go.
Let me say with me.
Praise God.
It makes that much difference.
It does.
No. We engaged.
Touche.
Now, I wanted to stop there because now I did see some of the comments before checking out this video, and a lot of people seem to be upset that they almost thought for like a man of God, right? And somebody with so much positivity that he was, I don't want to say disrespecting her, But what do you think so far? Is he being disrespectful by saying that he didn't like her at first, and her head might have looked a little big and the way
I
she
think
dressed?
it's just real. I mean, we all critique one another before we get to that place. It's like, you know, you automatically, you're either attracted or something attracts you to this person or not. And at that moment, he just wasn't into her like that.
And you know what? I you could say too that it seems like they have a friendship as well. And I think it's cool when you hit that level in a relationship where there's a level of realness, where you could be like, man, don't wear those pants. They make your legs look too thick, Or you could be like, don't wear that hat. You look Amish, right? Yeah, you look like a farmer or something. I had a dude in one video. He left a comment. He was like, "Are you Jewish?" And I just was like, "Bro, you gotta come harder than that, bro." I roast myself harder than that. You could at least been like, "Yo, you Amish," you know what I'm saying? Like,
That's
but but with the "Are you Jewish?" I was like, "Nah, bro, you gotta come harder than that, bro." I'm from the inner city. I talk to some shit, and I can talk shit all day.
Do you think that was intended as a dig of some sort?
Possibly, unless he wanted to communicate with me and invite me to whatever. It's like I'm not wearing a fucking with the little cap.
It's a yarmulke.
Yarmulke, It says no. I'm just a cool young creative. Maybe not so young, but young is relative. Treat it. All right, let's get back to it. But so you don't think it's disrespectful what they're saying? It's just real.
I think it's just real.
So yeah, I had a choice to either take his information, walk away, not be involved with him at all, or I could have him in my life in some capacity. So I chose to be his friend and still understand that he wasn't looking at me in a romantic eye or anything like that. Like it was just, and I felt like he was mine. Like he was like we were supposed to be together, but maybe it wasn't how I thought it was. Maybe it wasn't in a romantic way. So I chose to be his friend. I became
with intentions.
I became
with secret
the
intentions.
best friend he ever needed.
It was like Roger to T and Tamara.
Stop saying
like
that.
Roger like Urkel the Lord. Myra Urkel. Any type of obsessive friendship.
Treat it. You gotta treat it.
Was Myra
He's treating her a little bit. Yeah.
Out of control.
She wasn't like Urkel. She was just very controlling with Urkel, I think.
Okay.
Wasn't she?
I don't necessarily remember the fine details, but I just know that you was way. It was a friendship, but you could just tell. Like, hey, can you? And you would just be like, oh yeah, that's no problem.
Okay, so all I want to say is that whatever she did worked.
Hold on. And this is the beginning of the Tobe Nwigwe and Fat love story. This is a part 2 that's just added on here. Now let's get back to it.
I just want to be with you. I like the way you do the things you do.
Well, the story getting loose. All right.
So then I became like the best friend I could possibly be, right? So anything he needed that I was capable of doing, I would do because I wanted to, and I had no problem with doing it. So then, after a while, like with me always being there for him, he grew to love the way that I love him.
Yeah, it's real. I just think it's real different when somebody loves anything. I'm talking about you could whether you're doing good or bad. I'm talking about I was absolutely broke. I ain't had no money or nothing like that. She talking about, oh no, that's good, but you still I'm like, dang, get your extra everything is alright for me. I beat and killed 2 people. She talking about some man, they shouldn't have did that to you. That is okay. Fact. I was just like, all right, cool. If you feel this strongly, let's just give this a go, and hopefully I can grow into feeling the strong as you do about me.
Let me just stop you right now because.
Hold on. You know what? This reminds me of an arranged marriage. I have some friends. Not the whole setup. Obviously, they didn't do that. But I have some friends that they were Muslim, Pakistani, Indian. And one of the guys I was roommates with years ago, and I met a lot of his guys, and their parents were set up to arrange marriages. As I do, my parents are still married now, 40, 50 years later, old. And it's like you look at marriages now and they have a 50% divorce rate. And, you know, one would argue that, yeah, your approach to marriage is different, but it's kind of the same as like what they're saying. Like you learn to love how someone loves you. You get respect for them. There's a friendship, a respect level, and then it evolves into love. Like I think you could literally love anybody, especially if they care for you, you care for them. I just think it's nice what they're saying. It seems like they're being very real, very upfront about their story. But that's what it kind of reminds me of.
It's like if you develop that friendship first, it grounds the relationship to grow in either direction that either one of you choose.
Yeah, and let's be real. Sometimes women see something that you might not even see in yourself. Like she might have seen that he was not just a spiritual person, but he had the qualities of what would become a good father, a good partner, even though he was broke. So I think to him, it's really easy for guys to be like, man, she was thirsty, bro. I had her, I ran game and I got her. But yeah, you might have had game. Maybe you just didn't F it up. But maybe she saw more of your potential than you even saw at that time in yourself.
Just don't do that.
It's not a
Don't
good
do
idea.
that.
It's
Just
really
don't do it. If you don't feel some type of way about this girl, you know she is like, she loves you. And you gonna just see it, fit and work on. You just gonna feel you can grow into it. Nah, don't do that. Because then stuff happen like, I think I'm gonna take a break.
No, that ain't what happened. What happened was it was 6 months. Fat, all right, let's give it a shot. Fat literally started acting.
Hey, his response, I swear, is like a typical guy. Like that's like what I would say to that. It's like, no, hold on, though. You don't know my part, right?
Always defending your position.
No, I mean you got to, because nobody knows your position besides you, right? And they say don't raise your voice, improve your argument, right?
Like God came
Talking
down and
knowledge.
said, "You made it into heaven."
Let me tell y'all, this is like 2 years. This is like 2 years, right? It's so funny, huh?
I'm just saying. He was like, you was acting like God came out and said, Martika, my daughter, come
Why
on.
you guys see my government on TV? I mean, on the internet.
He was just literally not even walking around no more. She was literally floating through life, walking just literally on clouds. Goku,
I was
Dragon
happy,
Ball
y'all.
Z.
You gotta understand, like, I didn't think that he was ever gonna get in that space mentally to be like, all right, let's be in a relationship. At that point, I didn't care if he was trying or not. We was in a relationship, and I was like, we together now. You my man. You my boyfriend. And so, like, I was happy.
See, like,
I was happy.
she said, so you want to go outside? I'm like, outside? Let's just go walk. I'm
You
like,
know,
what?
and
I'm like, fat, no. But anyway, 6 months passed, and what happened was, like, it got to the point where I was just like, we was riding back from somewhere, and I was just like, hey, do you think you can get me to the next level of my life? I was like real ambitious and real which I still am and stuff like that. But I only got
I'm curious to know if he's not saying a lot about, I met her and her and I were in the same space. Like we were, one would argue that he's more of a conscious rapper, somebody who's bringing positive change to the
I
community.
think they're going to get to that.
And it seems like she is,
Yeah.
but he's not referencing like, he did a nice set and him and I had something in common.
Yeah.
I wonder if she got into rap because of him or was she already in rap?
Oh, that's interesting.
You know?
Yeah.
I was like, do you really feel like you can get me to the next level of my life? And she was like, what'd you say?
not in the way you would like me to. But I feel like I had the part that he didn't have. Like he had the ambition, he had the drive, he had all of that stuff, right? But I had the part to help him talk to people, to help him with his temper, to help him have tact, to like relay messages to somebody so that if they understand, I could help him with that. But he wasn't on that. He wanted somebody that matched him completely.
When he told me that, I said, listen, I promise you I don't need none of that. I got Jeff. Jeff is real good at talking to people. If I need somebody to help me talk, Jeff can be good. Like, hey, don't say it like that, say it like this. That's not what I need from a woman. So I just feel like, you know what I'm saying, we should take a break. We should take a break. And real quick, if a dude tell you we should take a break, public service announcement, that means it's
You can't
over.
speak for all.
It's over.
You can't speak for all.
That that is true. If he's saying that I want to take a break, he's saying that it's over. I want to smash some other chicks, or at the very least,
Okay, that's bull.
at least explore my other. A woman might say it different. She might
And
say,
if you want that relationship to be over for whatever length of time, then you need to be honest and just come out and say it.
nah,
You
because
know-
there's some chicks that don't get it. There's some chicks that
No,
you'd be like,
I'm
yo,
sorry. You don't
I
push and
think,
blow, and that's why men have a bad rap with that kind of thing.
I don't know.
That's the reason. That
Look,
she
they're both doing the same
compliments-
face. Look at that.
She compliments him so well because of that. It's like
Yeah,
she
but
can't define the things that he's incapable of saying.
maybe. But what he's saying is still true. You know, he's saying
No,
like, yo,
men need to
ladies,
be honest.
when somebody tells you, yo, I need a break for a little bit, I need to explore some other options.
Yeah,
He's basically saying that, yo, I'm gonna be out here making some moves without you, and I think that's what that means. And a lot of chicks are like, okay, he just needs space to get his mind right. Nah, he's out there smashing, and he's out there exploring other options to
then
see.
it's not a break. We're broken up. And
Yeah,
that's
but a
what
lot
you
of
need
times
to
the
say.
chick won't take it like that. And you'd be like, yo, I think we need a no. Oh hell no.
The
No, you
problem
know,
is
it's
that
like,
he wasn't man enough to say, we're breaking up now, I'm going to explore
or he
other
knew that's what
options."
she wanted to hear because he didn't want to break her. So I don't know.
Dudes, because we talked to some dude before and he was like, he agreed with me. So we don't.
1 out of 1 billion men said that.
That's not
Yes,
true.
well, I think
You don't
that
sit
is
here
correct.
and
He
lie
done
on
been probably in about 1 or 3
That's not-
relationships.
Treat it.
Ooh, that's not true. You need to stop. Listen, when you at work, right? You at work
Oh
and you
my
clock
God.
out for your break. What you do when your break is over? Come
Contemplate.
back.
You out the break, what you
You
doing?
come back.
Contemplate, do I really want to be at this job? Do I really feel like going?
Yep.
But then
I
when
bet you
that
I'll
break
leave
is
on the
over,
break.
when time is over, what you do? Clock right back in.
Clock out.
Clock right back in, and you go right back to
Bottom
work.
line, so
That's what I thought was gonna happen. He said break. I said, all right, cool. We can take some time. I can figure out what I'm supposed to be doing. You can figure out whatever you need to figure out. And we're gonna come back to this.
I had
thing.
already
Work
figured it
this
out
thing
though. I did not want to be with you
That was
anymore. Let's take a
fascinating.
break. So she went home for a like Christmas break or something like that. She went back to Michigan and came back and was thinking like, hey.
Hey, ready? What's up? Where you at?
I was
She
like,
popped back
I
up.
was like, did you not get the mail? I said,
Treat it.
I don't want to be with you.
No, he didn't. He said,
That's what Trent said, right? He
I'm
wasn't
not
clear.
No, that's not what I said. I don't want to be with you. And then he was like, well, I thought you said we were just taking a break. Then I said, I'm not in love with
well,
you.
that's the only part I remember. Because that's the part that hurt.
Well, that's all I remember. You said you don't love me.
I'm just saying.
And this is the thing. I told her, like, hey.
Yo, what's going on, everyone? This is part 3 of the Forever Twisted, the story with Tobe Nwigwe and his wife, Fat Nwigwe. I don't know if her real name is Fat. I think it's her nickname, right?
That's her nickname. Then she was here in part 2. He referenced her government name.
Do you know what it was?
No, I couldn't catch it. I
So,
was like, what's wrong with you?
without further ado, let's see it.
I just want to be with you. I like the way you do the things you do.
And this is the thing. I told her, like, hey, listen, I'm not in love with you. And to be honest, you don't really want to be with me. Because you want to be with somebody who feels the same way about you that you feel about them. And that is not me. I do not have those feelings for you like you have for me. So, in your mind, you think, I really want to be with you. But you don't, because I want to be with you like that. And you don't want to be with somebody like that. So, when that happened, Fat was heartbroken. But I was like, it's a necessary heartbreak. I wasn't feeling bad about it. I ain't gonna lie to you. When I told her that, I literally felt liberated. Like, woo! Thank God I got
But see, that seems, to a woman, you're looking like you want to say what she's saying. But you gotta hear it from the other side. He's saying like, yo, you don't want to be with me, right? He's saying they're not married at this point. He's saying like, yo, I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready to live this life I'm living, or I don't think you're ready to be part of this. That's something where he's trying to save her from what could be a possible bad end. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, I think but it obviously worked. Maybe she knew something that we didn't as men. She saw past that.
women typically do.
Maybe, but you know, I don't think he's. Yeah, it might sound like he's being bogus, but I think he's being real, and this
No,
is
for
their
sure.
story, right? This is their.
Absolutely.
You know, it doesn't. We can't. It obviously worked out. Well, I believe. Let's get to the last part. But it's like they end there like, yo, we're split. We're going our separate
We're
ways.
gonna find the man of her dreams, and I am free to find.
She looked like she want to say
All
something.
right, so let me go back to when he told me that, and I'll tell y'all how I felt when he did that.
Okay.
He told me, you know, 'cause I'm coming back from Christmas break. I'm like, all right, well, I'm back together. And so, so then when he came around, he was like, you know, like, I don't agree with you. He said he was gonna take a break. Like, what happened over this break now? Because, you know, my mind already done jumped. Like, who he done met while I was on break.
I wonder how long it was, right?
Then he says, I'm not in love with you. Like, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, like, I was hurt. I was for real hurt. I was doing the crying thing. I didn't want to go outside. I didn't want to talk to nobody. Like, I was going through my for real, like, rom-com breakup. Like,
I can't eat, babe.
it was bad, y'all. It was bad.
Without you in my life, I can't go on, babe. Now go ahead.
I thought you my real long. That's when, like, after I told, like, my best friend, I told my mama and stuff that's happened, and then that's when, you know, it was like, oh, how would he do that? And so then after I told her, you know, I released everything, and I was just sitting there, and I was just thinking, like, you know, he's right. I really don't want him if he don't want me the way I want him. And I had to think, like, if I serve the God that I serve, and if I say that I'm a Christian, then I need to believe in the Word. And the Word says, like, He'll give you the desires of your heart, like, if you like living for Him. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you really like steadfast living for Him, and I was, and that's what I wanted. So if I'm sitting there holding on to something that don't want me, then I'm not really believing God, because He'll give me the desires of my heart, and I desired love. I desired, like, it to be an equal thing. You know what I'm saying? So after I realized that God is going to give me exactly what I need, and what I need will become what I want, right?
Do you feel that way?
Yeah, they do. But then I'm more spiritual than you are. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but
And so I can't keep chasing what I want. I need to chase what God, like, needs me to have, right? So then I started.
I need you to keep in my head because you just literally stopped.
So then I was getting into it now. So then once I came to peace with that, I was like, okay, like, I'm good. Like, it hurt or whatever, but I was excited for what God had for me. Because if I felt that way about Him, then whoever I meet, like, whoever God really sends is going to be like 10 times that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to be equal in the love that we share or whatever. So I started moving. Like, I put myself together. I got out. I got a different job. I got a car. I started managing at Nordstrom. I started teaching, what I really wanted to do. I started teaching art. Like, I started moving, like, really, like, painting like I wanted to. And I just started doing really well for myself. I tried to date. I met some real bums.
Boys, ain't me.
Seriously, though, like, when you meet, like, a man of, like for real integrity and character and stuff like that, like, you go on dates and you see straight through somebody. Like, it's so bad.
Boys,
like,
I trying to get them draws.
On the first day, I'd be like, oh, you taking me? What we about to go? What we about to do? Nah, first day, what you gonna do with your life?
She was asking.
And then sit there and wait for your answer. I need to know, because I don't have time to waste. Like, oh, you good?
Fat was going on dates with boys, asking boys, hey, all right, so what's your purpose? The boys were like, I thought we were just trying to.
Nah, I needed to know.
Right,
I need to know everything. So yeah, he was dating, he was out there dating every girl that he thought he wanted, and realized that that's not what he wanted, because, you know.
Don't speak for the
know.
man.
You don't really know until you figure it out. So he went and tested the waters, and it just wasn't me. But, so then what happened?
Part 4.
We started, to communicate.
Fan, did you only be telling me because you've been telling a lot of stories from your perspective. What happened was, after about a year of not talking, Fat going into the chamber and transforming from Urkel to Stefan. You know what I'm saying? We became cool after a while, and like we just on some platonic friendship stuff, and we would tell each other about the dude she was dating or a female that I was dating, and we became cool.
Yeah.
And then after the stuff didn't work out with the people that we were talking to, we got, you know what I'm saying, a little bit closer, but not like that. Like it was extremely platonic, and I was just like, I started feeling some type of way about Fat, but I was.
And for the younger cats that might not know what platonic means, it just means like a strictly friendship, right? Not friends with benefits, not smashing. A platonic relationship is just one where it's normal. It's a normal friendship, regardless if it's boy, girl, boy, girl, whatever. Like if you're with someone and you have a female friend, that female friend and you have a platonic relationship, right?
Rarely can a man have a platonic relationship with a woman. So
that's another
we
video.
don't do that.
We don't do that.
I was just like, I'm not going to move forward with Fat unless I have peace in 3 areas, right? And the first area was I always thought Fat was like a really good option, but I never felt like Fat was like the one. Like I always wanted to have the butterflies, that euphoric feeling for the person I thought was the one, but I always thought she was like a solid option. So my homegirl Maggie, who invited me to an event, Fat just happened to be around me at the time, and there was another dude around me at the time. And I was just like, yeah, I want to go to this event real quick, and we just went as friends. Well, first of all, before we went into the event, I gave Fat the speech that I usually give her, like, hey, remember, this is completely platonic. Don't be in here trying to, scare away my queen.
I was like, I ain't tripping over you. I'm trying to find my,
and I was like,
my king. I'm trying to find my queen.
Exactly. And I was like, continue to tell yourself like that, and it might happen for you as well. Now, when we got in there, it was the first time I had ever been in the venue where at least 5 different chicks that at one point in time I either wanted to talk to, like they was interested in me, blase, was in the same venue at the same time, and it was all looking extremely beautiful. But the only thing it was, though, I did not have the urge to talk to not any one of them. So much so that I told Fat, hey, don't go too far away, like stay close. Stay close, but still don't get no ideas, because I still don't want you like that, but don't go too far. So I had to leave that event and ask myself, dang, with all those options around it, was Fat really the one that I felt was the best option? I really want to talk to Fat in the midst of all of my.
You know, and I think this is really good too for people to hear, because, man, let's be real, we don't hear a lot about this in minority communities, whether it be Black or Puerto Rican. I'm multiracial, right? But we don't see a lot. Everybody talks about this, the storybook kind of romance where I met him, he was the one, he's a lawyer or a cop, I'm a nurse, or and it mixes. I think it's awesome when people can tell you like, yo, this was jacked up, right? He didn't want me, or I didn't want her, or yo, I was still exploring options. I think that's another level of authenticity that is kind of what I've been seeing more of watching Tobe, is how authentic he is, not just in his music, but to himself. You know what I mean?
It's
like,
refreshing.
It's refreshing, but it's also like, it's so real. And I think that's how when you're looking at bringing change or teaching like the masses, it might seem like something so small, but I think it's really important to somebody who, might be going through it in a relationship and they haven't met their storybook partner like they both thought they wanted, right? And it's like, yo, you might be in the friend zone. You might be, it might not have worked out for them, but it's important to know that these things happen. Not everything is like your storybook love story, especially, let's be honest, in the hood or in the inner city or these minority relationships. Like, and let's be real, a lot of times it's like she got 2 babies already, right? A lot of times it's, yo, he got a kid. Man, how's his baby mama? What's his, you know what I mean? What does he do? There's like a lot.
Ooh, it's like you're talking about our story.
Yeah, but you're talking about, like one might be with a girl. He might have, you know what I mean? There's like a lot of variables when you talk about minority, any love story, really. I think it's just refreshing, as you said, to bring something like this to people and say,
options. And it wasn't true. I did. So that was the one thing I needed peace about. The second thing was, I had a problem not being able to say that I'm in love with Fat, right? I had a problem not being able to say I'm in love with Fat, right? And I talked to my boy Devin, Cause I always felt like when I want to be with, I want to have like butterflies. I just want to have those ooey gooey feelings on the inside, right? He said you have a real worldly perspective of love. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, you remember the story when the Pharisees tried to make Jesus stumble and just say something stupid, right? Which they always trying to do. He was like, remember when they asked Jesus, they said, hey, of all of the commandments, what are the most important ones? He said, that's easy. Love God with all your heart, then love your neighbor as yourself. And I was like, all right, what does that have to do with me? In fact, he said, if you can understand that at a basic level, you can understand that they asked him about the commandments. And he told them which ones were the most important. And if he said love God with all your heart and love your neighbor as yourself, then you can clearly see that love has absolutely nothing to do with feelings. That it has everything to do with being a command and a choice. And you cannot command feelings. I was like, what you mean? He's like, if I told you to be sad right now, be sad. I command you to be sad. I would sound extremely stupid because you cannot do that. You cannot command feelings. He said, but love is a command and it's a choice. So if you can honestly say that, because I always felt like the love that I had for Fat was like a real ride or die type love, a real like conscious, like I know exactly who you are, you know exactly who I am type love. He was like, if you can honestly say that you love Fat, then that in itself is more than enough. That's all you need. But the world has gassed you up to make you believe that you need feelings. You have to have this little euphoric feeling. And if you don't have that feeling, then it's not love. And that's a lie. And it's a trigger the enemy, but they gave it the term in love. You could fall in and out of love. People didn't know. You get feelings, you lose feelings. You're gonna be irritated sometimes, you're gonna not be irritated sometimes. You're gonna be feeling like, oh, this is the best thing
yes.
ever. And so, fat. All right. I'm just saying. So that sounds real simple, but it broke the shackles on my mind as it relates to that me wanting that euphoric feeling and wanting to just have those butterflies with the person that I wanted to be with for the rest of my life. Right? So that was the second thing. And the third thing was that Fat had sickle cell. Right? And in my mind, I don't believe in soulmates. I don't believe in this person, this is the only person for you. I believe in you choose who you want to be with and you honor that commitment or you honor the covenant as unto God. That's what I believe. Right? So I was like, the person I choose to be with for the rest of my life, I want to choose somebody who I deem is healthy, strong, fit to carry my seed, and I'm thinking about the future, right? And then God got on my head so heavy with like, dang, what?
You know, they say that's a natural part of attraction, that, you know, your pheromones and the, like being in somebody's presence, like women have this natural sense. You might not, it might be something that's subconscious, but you think of it in the back of your head, like, yo, you know, this guy B, yo, he's tall, dark, and handsome.
Well,
no, but you know, they say, you know, you might see someone and you might not put it together right away, but yo, this guy is 6'3", 6'4". Think about the type of kids and the big, strong kids I can have, or hey, this guy is educated. You know, he can earn a solid living. He has a nice, solid body. Look at his incredible beard. You know, it could be.
I'm sorry, are you talking about yourself right now?
No, but what I'm saying though is, you know, women, and I'm sure men, you subconsciously think of what they would be like, not just as a partner, but the type of offspring you could bring into the world.
So how do you feel about what he is saying and how he came to realize that their relationship was meant to be?
Yeah, I think that's very real. I think with guys, you know, it comes down to not just the woman. As you can see, she's a beautiful woman. She knew what she wanted, or it seemed like she was making moves in life, but he just wasn't into her. And I think it was very real of him to say that. And I think sometimes women don't want to hear that, but I think women do mature before men do. And I think sometimes they might know what they want before a man does. And I think he was honestly protecting her, because if you don't truly want to be with someone, you're more than likely to cheat or, you know, have wandering eyes. You know, I once heard that you know, you're only as faithful as your options. You know, if you have somebody who's amazing that comes into your life, that's when people cheat. When you define that as amazing, right? You know, I got a story for this. It's really quick. I once had a buddy. I won't say his name, but he had this wifey chick. And she was legit wifey, cute girl, on her money, right? She knew how to cook. She seemed like she would be a good mom. She interacted really well with his family. But my guy was like, yo, B, man, bro, my girl, I love her. And they were approaching maybe 1 or 2 years. And he was like, yo, she ain't got no ass, bro. And I was like, well, I know it looked like she been working overtime. She'll work her ass off, you know. But he was like, yo, B, man, I don't know if I can be with her. And we had a very real conversation, and it kind of sucks because she was just out the whole weekend with his mom. She made a big meal for the roommates. I was one of them. You know what I'm saying? We all ate and chilled. He broke up with her bogus. She was straight wifey chick. I'm talking most dudes would fight for that type of girl. But my boy G, I almost said dropped his name, but he's a big dude. He's a relatively good-looking guy. No homo. He's a good dude. He got his stuff too. And she was as well. And it's like, yo, he turned her down, and he knew just for her not having an ass, he knew that affected him, and that he would always have wandering eyes. He would always be wondering what another girl would be like. He wouldn't be completely satisfied. And he left her right there and then after a couple of years, and she did nothing wrong. Like, legit nothing. Sometimes you just know, and you have to be real with yourself. And I think it's good because, one might be saying, yo, Tobe was bogus. He tried to friend zone her. I wonder if he was still smashing, right? He probably still had different options. And until those options either didn't pan out, and then he took a second look at her. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think the world tries to tell you, man, you know when you know, and you go on 3 dates, right? You have your first kiss after 1 or 2 dates. You get these warm, fuzzy feelings. Maybe you smash somewhere between the 3 and 6 dates, right? Maybe you meet the mom, you meet her girls. Like there's a whole, there's levels to it, right? You get a teddy bear, you give her a chain, you give her a promise ring, and he's saying like, yo, no, that's not what it was like. Yo, I had options, she had options, I wasn't too into her. It could have been anything. It could have been her head looked big with that haircut, right? He just wasn't feeling her, but eventually he saw her inner beauty, and I think there's nothing wrong with that. They obviously have a beautiful relationship now. I think how you get there isn't as important as you getting there. Boom. Mic drop. Boom.
Not so much.
And you get so just confident and arrogant within yourself that you just really feel like you know what healthy look like. You know what tomorrow holds. Like, what makes you think you can go get somebody who you deem healthy and they don't die in no car crash the next day or get hit by a stray bullet or whatever the case is. Anything, just die of a random heart attack. You have no clue. You don't know anything. And he was like, if you know better the best thing for you, why would you be out here looking for the next best thing when you have the best thing with you? I was like, I guess I don't know what healthy is. It's like you need to just honor and cherish what you deem as the best while you have her with you. So when I had peace in those 3 areas, I had absolutely no problem coming up to Fat and telling her, hey, listen, I want to be with you. And I told my homegirl at first, I was like, yeah, look, I'm going to tell Fat I want to be with her. She's like, are you going to propose? I was like, are you silly? Are you crazy? I said, I want to be with her. I just want to be boyfriend and girlfriend first. I'm like, no, let's just see if that works, a real relationship. So I went and told Fat, and Fat, when I first told her, because you got to understand, now it's been like about 5 years of Fat desperately wanting to be with me.
Wow.
No.
Look at. So when I tell her I want to be with her, her initial reaction is what?
Stop playing. Like, I don't have time to play with you. I don't have time to play.
She literally
But
said,
let me go back because when we went through that break and we started like becoming friends again, and then he started acting like he was interested again. I initially did not want to. I didn't want to because you gotta understand, like, it's just been years of me like, oh, you ready? Oh, no. Are you ready?
no.
Oh, no, you're not. You ready? Like, it had been like years of doing that, and I was tired. I was tired at that point. I told y'all how I was giving everything to God. I was like, you know,
sit up here, baby?
You know, saying like, who I need. I'm good on you. I want what God has for me.
Yeah.
And I was just tired. And so then I talked to one of my mentors after we had that conversation. And she was like, you know what? Has he like lied to you or tried to intentionally do you dirty? So, like he was always honest, no matter.
See, I think that's what it comes down to. He wasn't. He could have not been interested in her, and it's what a lot of guys do, right? He play the hubby, like the potential, knight in shining armor, and that could have been his game, right? Though it sounds like, and who's to say? We don't know if he was smashing from the time he met her at church. He could have been for 5 years, but just not together. But I'm saying he could have been. Let's assume they weren't, right? He could have been using her interest in him against her, right? And smashing her along with numerous other chicks in the church. But he didn't. He kept it real with her. And I think that's what, and she obviously respected that. Because her girl saying, like, yo, did he lie to you about what he wanted? No, he didn't. He was
That's
upfront.
why she was saying that she didn't have time to play with that. Like, she can't trust his feelings because he's already done that to her.
Yeah, but he was real. One would argue that you do trust his feelings because he hasn't given you a reason to doubt him. Boom.
If it hurt me or not, like, he's completely honest. And she was like, well, in that case, like, if he's telling you something different and he's showing you something different, watch. It's like, alright, I guess. I'm like, I was like still hesitant, but I was like, I guess I can see. Just like, don't dive all the way in. You have to dive all the way back in, but just watch and see if it's different. And so I did. I started to like pay attention. I started to watch, and he was different. He had changed, and he was just softer. Like it was.
I don't know about soft.
No, not like softer, like
Don't call a man
like,
soft.
And his tone, like talking to me, it was just different, right? It was just different. It wasn't on some like, hey,
you need to find you some better adjective.
I'm gonna stiff arm you, give me like at least 5 feet at all times, like that. It wasn't like, all right, you can come a little closer. I was like, maybe this is.
Oh, you made it work for him.
I wouldn't know some like hold my hand type stuff though.
I didn't say that.
Well, you said softer.
I meant like in your tone, not like as a man.
Put it out there.
He's not soft, y'all. He's not soft.
But you ain't gotta say that either. Cause
Yeah, you gotta watch those words. People looking at him as soft.
Yeah, he ain't soft. He's strong. Him a strong man.
Bonafide.
Good job. Look at. Good job, man. You talking. That's good. So anywho.
So I started paying attention, and I really so ladies, like if you ever go through something like this.
Part 5.
So anywho.
So I started paying attention, and I really so ladies, like if you ever go through something like this, and he coming back, you try to be like he wants you back. You really have to consider his integrity, his character. Like how he treated you before, and if he was always sneaking and doing you dirty, that's a character, that's an integrity issue, and that's something that he's going to need to fix himself. Like, you can't fix that for him. Yeah. So don't think just after a couple weeks or months of him being hurt that you're not around, that he just changed and it's just different. Nah, he needs to for real, do a for real self-assessment and start walking in that self-assessment every day before you can even consider him coming back. But he's different because he wasn't on some sneaky stuff trying to lie to me, trying to go see somebody and at me at the same time. He wasn't on that. He was just always honest, I just don't want to be with you.
Yeah.
So then
whenever Faye get real serious, she just stopped doing my hair and just start talking. It's the weirdest thing ever. I'm just like, alright.
You gotta focus on what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So then I started paying attention, I started watching. And so then it kind of happened faster than what I thought it would. So when he was like, hey, I want to be with you, I was like, I ain't got time to play with you. Let's keep moving. I don't have time. Stop playing with me. And so then his friend ended up coming. Well, I don't know.
Crystal with a K?
Yeah.
She had just moved down to Houston. She didn't stay for a couple of weeks. I said, I got you. She been one of my best friends since North Texas, UNT, Bowling Green. So I told Crystal with a K before I even told Fat. So when she came up, she was like, congratulations. And I was like,
she was like, yeah, congratulations on your relationship. I was like, serious.
I told you.
I was like, oh, okay, thank you. And so we were in a relationship.
And they took Fat about a month. Hold on real quick, Fat. It's getting twisted stuff. It's for the birds sometimes. What was that?
It took me a while to even say boyfriend. I feel like it took me over a month to be able to say, this is my boyfriend. It took me some time because if I spoke that, then that made it official. And I didn't know how long it would last. I'm not gonna lie.
You didn't want to get a heart broke again.
Exactly. Because the first time he was like, "You gonna be with me?" I was like, "Oh, he's my boyfriend." You know, I was so happy. And then it was like, "Nah, I won't meet you." And so I was like, "All right, I'm gonna pace myself this time. You're not gonna play me. Fool me once, genuinely, you. I don't know how to go." But then,
all right.
So it took me some time, but then I right when I finally started like getting comfortable saying this is my boyfriend, he flipped it again. Cause this is the thing. So we would never.
It was not that quick.
Hmm?
He flipped it again. I ain't gonna.
No, just because I started saying it, don't mean that I was comfortable saying it.
I'm saying, but this is making sense. All right.
It wasn't that fast,
Go ahead.
it wasn't a long process either. So as soon as I started getting comfortable, like saying, "Oh yeah, this is my boyfriend," or referring to my boyfriend, and like really getting comfortable doing that, it started getting to the point to where I would say something about like our future, and he'd be like, "Nah, chill. Like I'm not. Like, we just got back together. Like you tripping, you going too fast."
Humble yourself.
So I'd be like, "Okay, cool. All right, cool. You know, I'm moving to that. I'm doing that."